Hi, students. Now we're going to talk about DDM model, dividend discounted model. Now, I'm sure you learned that in the 3000 and other classes, but you didn't know how the practicality of this model. So I'm going to go with the theory and then go to the empirical back to the theory. What are the problems? And so you can have a better idea how to estimate value of a company using DDM model. Dividend discounted cash flow. Simple model. Suppose a company like Apple, their price $161, their annual dividend 92 cents, discount factor 12%. And discount factor, you take it from CAPM model. We did CAPM in the previous class. Then the future price is D divided by R. That's a formula, simple model. And in this case, 92 cents divided by the discount factor 12%. That will make the price of Apple as $7.66. But the price now is $1,661. Doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense, this model. But the dividend for Apple is growing. So if the growth for Apple is 9%, then the price of Apple D divided by R minus G. If G was 0, then we go back to the original model when there is no growth for the dividend. But Apple has a growth, then suppose the growth is 9%, then 0.92 divided by 12%, the discount factor minus whatever the growth, 7% or 9%, then the price of Apple would be 18.4. What if, so it still doesn't make sense because the price of Apple 150, 160. What if G, the growth of dividend, is 14%? Well, in that case, D divided R minus G, 0.92 divided by 12 minus 0.14, that will be negative 46 cents. Also doesn't make sense. Doesn't make sense. So this model, it doesn't make sense, the numbers. And this is real numbers, by the way, 92 cents. If you go to Apple, AAPL, and you go to historical data, and you go to dividend, and you do apply the dividend for Apple 23 cents, multiply by 4 quarter, that's each quarter, 4 quarter, that will be 80 and 92 cents. Yeah, 3 cents multiplied by 4, it's 92 cents a year. So this model, it doesn't make sense. 92 cents divided by R, discount factor, we did that before. And then even if you do the growth for dividend, and if you look here for Apple, you do like 5 years apply. So the 5 years dividend growth was 1825, 1925, 205, 22 cents, 23 cents. So that's pretty much the growth for dividend for Apple. So how much? So we can calculate the growth for Apple. We'll do that later. But if the growth above the discount factor for Apple, then 92 divided 0.12 minus 14, that means the price of Apple negative 46, and that cannot be. A company cannot have negative. Maximum will be, worst case scenario, 0. The company bankrupt, then the share go to 0. And a plus, if without dividend growth, which is good, the growth is good. If without dividend growth, the price 766. So why would the growth become to be negative? Should be higher. So that means this model is wrong. The textbooks that you learned before are wrong. The professor did not give you the right story. Here's the way how to deal with it. If the dividend growth above the discount factor, here's the discount factor, the green line. If the discount factor, dividend growth is above that, then you have to think about a period when the growth is above the steady state growth. The steady state dividend growth is, suppose this blue line. And now we are now. From now till T star, we have a period when the company dividend growing differently. but not in a steady state. It could be here. The discount factor could be here, but definitely there is a period where the growth is above the discount factor. So what you do is you say, okay, I'm gonna calculate the dividend for this period and discounted that, and then from here on, I will use this formula. So when I am in a steady state, the growth of dividend is less than the discount factor. The blue line is less than the green line. Once I am here from T star and on, I will use this formula, D divided R minus G. But before that, there is a period from there to T star, from 0 to T star, there is a dividend that I need to calculate that. So the solution is we start with the converting to steady state growth, say 9%, we convert to the steady state. And for example, if the dividend now is 14, we conversion the steady state 9, then it takes 25 years. Then after 25 years, we're going to use this formula D divided R minus G. Again, be wise, buy the rumors, sell the news. But how are we going to do this model? Well, we're going to go to Excel. You will have the same Excel file here where I try to calculate the model, the dividend. If you tell me what's the last dividend for Apple, and if you tell me what's the discount factor, which is from cap M, and if you tell me how much the current dividend growth, which is above cap M, and you tell me how much period you want to do it, 23, 25, whatever period you want to do, then I can, from Bloomberg, you get the Bloomberg long-term growth rate for Apple. And then from there, you can get the price for Apple. Now, I think from discount factor cap M model, the cap M model, I think was around this, 11%. The dividend for Apple was 0.92 cents. The current implied growth, let's do that. How much the current implied growth for Apple? So 23, 22, that's 88. So we have the dividend for Apple was 1825, 1, 2, 3, 4, 4, 1825. So 1825. Obviously, the years are wrong. 1825. When I did this model first time, it was in 2017 or 18, and 1825. Then we went to 1925, 1925, 1925, 1925. So how much I have here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1925. Then we went to 1, 2, 3, 4. Then 205. 0.205, 0.205, 0.205, and 0.205. And then we went to 22 cents. 22 cents, 22 cents, 22 cents, 22 cents. We are now 23 cents, 23 cents, 23 cents, 23 cents. So the current growth for dividend for Apple, I did the average year by, so the sum here for this year was 73 cents, 74, 82, 88, and 92. The growth was 5%, 6%, 7%, and 4%. In this case, the current growth is 0.09, but the implied growth for Apple is 10%. So you put that, the current implied growth for Apple is this number, 0.05 now, which is 0.06. 0.06. And basically that's the price of Apple based on this model. That's the price of Apple, $50. I don't like it. I think here the number was I think that was the number here. And now the growth for Apple, this is the growth. So the price of Apple based on this model is $60. Again, what you have to do the CAPM model from previous lecture. Get that number for CAPM for Apple. I think it was 0.113, I guess. Or 0.113, maybe 113. I don't remember what was it. 0.113. And then 92, and then that's the current growth. Maybe we need to do 1 year here. So if you do 4 years, 5 years, look how much is sensitive. 25 years will be this. 20 years, if you do 64, 15, 75. 10 years, 105. 12 years, different now. 10 years. And we're going to do it 23. And we're going to use 25, the maximum. That's the price of Apple, 58, 60. That's the price of Apple. So what we learn from this exercise? What we learned from this exercise is the dividend discounted model. That's the simplest model. If you have a growth, that would be the model. But what if the growth above the discount factor? Then you have to do 2 steps. This is the first one, and then how you do it. What I want you to do, your homework is simply, let me do a slide here and write homework. Number 1, find a company. Select a company. Number 2, find the dividend. Like I did this with Apple. Go another company like JP Morgan, give dividend. JP Morgan. Most of the banks give dividend. So go to JP Morgan, historical data. So select a company and then go, I want only dividend and 5 years and apply. And then I want you in Excel to report the dividend for JP Morgan in the past 5 years. No, not JP Morgan, any company of your interest. Find the dividend stream. Calculate the dividend growth. Basically, what you have to do here, I did that for Apple. Just go and put the numbers for whatever company you use. JP Morgan have a dividend, Goldman Sachs, Morgan Stanley, only banks. A lot of companies giving dividend now. Nvidia start giving dividend also. So calculate the dividend growth in the past 5 years. And then try to calculate the price for the company given the discounted factor from CAPM that you calculated in the previous assignment, and that here to use 25 days, 25 years, 20 years, what's the price, report that, and 15 years, 75. And report the price in this calculate the CAPM model from the factor and calculate, and that the number of years are 25 years, 20 years, 15 years. So that's basically your assignment. Do that, see the price for every time. Calculate the dividend growth and see the price, how much a price for different years of this. Thank you so much. I think that's pretty much what I want to do in this model. And by the way, if you have the Bloomberg access to Bloomberg, all what you have to do, you didn't need all of these slides, by the way. All what you have to do is DDM. Go to Bloomberg, choose the company of interest, write DDM. You will have an output with the price of the company. Thank you so much. So if you go to Bloomberg, you do DDM command, you will find an output like this. This is the output. You will find a lot of information, growth years, long-term growth rate, and the closing price for a company here, Walmart, Walmart, the closing price is 118. So that's the price, that the closing price, and then computed values, the theoretical price for Walmart based in DDM is 83.6039. So that's if you do DDM, or what you need to go DDM, put the company Walmart, do DDM, and then you will get the theoretical price based on DDM. That's the number you need. And the closing price means what is the price today. The long-term growth rate for dividend in Walmart is 5.4. So this is example how to do it. Now, if you want to do it manually, then you have to do through the Excel I just did here. You need to put these numbers. Take that from CAPM, get these numbers, 25, 20, and then get the results. Thank you so much, students. I hope that you learn a lot from this exercise. Your homework is simple, as I said. Select a company and calculate. Select a company, find the dividend stream, calculate the dividend growth in the past 5 years, try to calculate the company price based 25, 20, and 15. And from that, get an idea about the price of the company. If you want to use Bloomberg Terminal, easy. Go choose a company and do DDM and get the theoretical price of the company. Thank you so much. Bye.